I'd like to call to order the Town of Newburgh Town Council meeting Wednesday, September 24th, 2015. To order, please. Please stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. At this time, do we have any remembrances and acknowledgements? We'll go on to roll call.
District 1, Steve Shoemaker.
Present.
District 2, Paul Perry.
Present.
District 3, Stacy Krieger.
Present.
District 4, Ann Restaurant.
Here.
Council at Large, Leanna K. Hughes.
Happy to be here.
Clerk Treasurer Nanette Angel here. Administrative Town Manager Chris Cook.
Here.
Deputy Town Manager Andrea Balboni. Here. Attorney Christopher Wisher.
Here.
Town Engineer Drew Flamey.
Present.
All right, I'd like a motion for the approval of the September 10th minutes. Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, nay. Motion carries. Schedule requests and appearances. Newburgh Museum.
Good evening, all. We've got some exciting news about our third annual Chris Kendall Mart. And if you have not received this, Todd Glass, our board president, will be passing this out to you. And also accompanied with Doug Connett, who is also a board member, as well as a representative from Zion United Church of Christ. So I will let Todd dig into the meat a little bit.
Any more than you wish me to. Council members, thank you for the moment to be with you today, requesting again a few things from the town for our third annual Chris Kendall Mart that the museum is conducting in partnership with our friends at Zion United Church of Christ. Generally speaking, that includes the closure of First Street from State to Monroe, and closure of Monroe Street south of First Street into the parking lot. I think that covers it. I have not yet spoken to Chief Mitchell about this yet, but we'll work with him and his department, hire an off-duty department employee for traffic and safety control like we did last year, if he recommends that. And also requesting parking back there around First and Fillmore Street. That was used to some degree last year for our vendors and volunteers, and that's just along the side of the roads and around that track area. A lot of the vendors this year will be parking at Newburgh Elementary School, where we're expanding our events for this year. So we'll have vendors both at Zion and at Newburgh Elementary School and outside in the street fair atmosphere along First Street. This is just a one-day event.
Okay. Council, do you have any questions?
Have you checked the school calendar to make sure there are no ball games or things like that?
Haven't had any complaints or comments from them at this time, so I think we're all still in the clear.
I know in the past, sometimes there've been other things going on that took up some of the parking or the ability to move around.
Great support from the administration of Newburgh Elementary School on that.
Can you hear me okay? Yes, ma'am. Okay. I'm at 110 West Jennings, so I have a front row seat to the speed table. And I just want to give you feedback on that. For us, it has increased the noise to the level of being noise pollution. It's the big trucks going over it, the semis, the farm trucks, the work trucks like Centerpoint or dump trucks, and any pickup hauling a trailer. Depending on how fast they're going, they rumble across the table and then they can pound off when they're coming off of it. So it can be so loud several times. We have been outside in the front yard and we have to stop talking because it's so loud, even raising our voices, we can't hear each other. So for me, that's not conducive to the historic district where you want people to stroll along and enjoy the town. We're not seeing that it's slowing traffic like it's meant to either. Headed east, they slow down when they get right to it, and as soon as they're off it, headed west, they're accelerating right back up to their chosen speed. And the table is east, straight down from our sunroom. Our driveway's on the west end of our house. And we have trouble pulling out of our driveway because we never know, are they going to slow down when they approach the table? Many people don't slow at all. They just keep going the speed they are. But not knowing that, we have to stop and wait for everybody, because even if they slow when they get to the table, we don't have time to pull out before they cross it. So just know going forward with these, the closer you are to people's driveways, the more problems they're going to have pulling out. Finally, I'm offering this as a caution. Our sunroom is directly above the speed table, and our floor in there has tile that's somewhere between 50 and 100 plus years old. And since the table went in, we've got 3 cracks in that sunroom floor. So we cannot keep that tile. So I can't prove the speed table did it. I can only tell you they have appeared since it went in. So putting these by historic buildings, other people may come up with issues with you. So our bottom line on it is, we don't think it's solving the speeding issue. And for $9,000 a speed table, especially in the historic district, there has to be a better alternative. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, Matt. H&I update.
Hi, Matt Melfi, 503 West Water Street, H&I update. I wasn't sure if we formed last time was to visit, so I wanted to come downtown and tell you what we're doing for Q4, just to confirm everything. But first I want to say thanks to everyone who attended our Gala for Good Dinner the other night. Huge success, great evening, appreciate the town supporting us in there. I know 4 or 5 of you guys showed up, and that's great. Hopefully next year we get it. Hay rides are going to start for us on October 17th through 19th. That's a Friday, Saturday, Sunday, down at the Lock and Dam. I'm sorry, down at the Trailhead, around Trailhead. We'll have Halloween illuminations for those 3 nights and hay rides for those 3 nights. And then the next weekend, October 24th, 26th, we'll have the same Halloween illuminations and then State Street Ghost Walks on that night. Then we move into our Christmas celebrations. So the first one is November 23rd, that's a Sunday. That's our 3rd annual Grinchmas Pub Crawl. We have about, I think, 8 or 9 bars signed up to join us this year. It's always a fun time. The fun gets better as the day goes on, for sure. Then on 11/28, which is this Friday after Thanksgiving, Saturday after Thanksgiving, it's Small Business Saturday, so we'll be around delivering breakfast treats to all of our businesses. And then on Saturday, December 6th, we have our Newburgh Celebrates Christmas. We'll have our Christmas market up at Pres Hall, and then we have a holiday home tour that evening. I think we have 6 or 7 houses signed up, buildings signed up for that right now. And then finally, on Sunday, December 7th, we're going to have our holiday light parade. It's going to be a little bit shorter route this year, and it's going to start half an hour earlier. We had a lot of comments last year that it started too late, went too long. So we're going to start at 5:30 instead of 6, and then we'll have a shorter route. So that's all of our Q4 activities that we're going to have. The last thing I want to comment on, I don't know if everybody's seen them or not, but our wayfinding signs are finally up and around. We have 11 of them up on our posts. I know Ann and Leanna and Troy and I got together about a year ago and picked out which posts were the right ones to put them on, so that's where they are right now. There's been a slight hiccup with Science by Design. They are printing the labels that go on there, and they have a machine that is broken down, and it's a kind of a one-of-a-kind machine as I understand it, so the manufacturer is gonna come in and fix it sometime this week. So we should be getting labels put up for all of our businesses who want to participate in all of our town sites. That's where we are, just what you might want to make sure you do that, and in case we haven't talked about it in a while. Questions? Okay.
Gather for Good was great.
Yeah, it was good. It was a beautiful evening, good food, a lot of great people, a lot of great activities. So it was just
Good conversation.
Good conversation. It was just a good night.
Thank you.
Appreciate everybody coming. Thank you.
All right, we'll go on to Civil Town. Andrea, the nationwide program.
Yeah, so this is actually gonna be, two, motions from you guys. One is the resolution and one is the adoption of the agreement. But in front of you guys is the, state of Indiana's deferred compensation plan called Hoosier Start. The town of Newburgh is already, part of Nationwide. We offer that to our employees already. But this is, a program through the state of Indiana that they're referring to as the Hoosier Start. Some of the things that benefit the employees, it's gonna be lower administration fees. There's no commission, so they don't have to pay any of those hidden costs. There's a more diverse lineup, for them to choose from. There's state oversight, there's no cost to the town, and it actually is a little bit more helpful on the clerk side. They kind of handle some of the, HR stuff with the compliance and the reporting, so that takes it off of our plate as well. With it, same thing, if they leave, they take it with them, and it's the same statewide. I think Indy's doing it, there's a bunch of other cities and towns that are doing this. Evansville has it as well. So we have Nationwide, we offer it to the employees. This is just going with the state of Indiana's plan that they have with Nationwide. So ideally, we are just seeking your approval of the resolution and then the adoption of that agreement.
Okay, we'll do this a little backwards. First of all, any discussion? Any questions we want to ask? Okay. So then I need a motion to approve the adoption agreement on behalf of the participating employer, which is us.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do I have any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. So then we need to do the resolution, Chris.
Right.
I need a motion for reading first.
Motion to read.
Okay, I guess I need a motion to read the first
So
reading.
moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, Chris?
Resolution 2025-10, a resolution to adopt the State of Indiana Deferred Comp Plan.
All right, I need a motion for the acceptance of the reading and adoption of Resolution 2025-10.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, Drew, Ellerbush Road.
Yes, so this is for work to repair the sinking of the pavement that's taking place about 250 foot north of Southgate Boulevard. What's proposed is to complete a patch and a small diameter culvert at that location. Currently, the west ditch does not have adequate slope and is holding water. So the west ditch, I'll just show you, kind of west ditch is much higher in elevation than the east ditch if you've drove through there. And there's utilities that run through underneath the roadway, which we believe, in addition to the water being held in the ditch, is migrating through the roadway, through those utilities, potentially that granular backfill, and migrating to the east side of the ditch. So what we believe is a shear plane failure, if you will, underneath the roadway embankment. So the thought's to add a culvert, dig out all those compromised soils, and hopefully we'll have a patch that will last us to phase 2 improvements. As you're aware, this project is being designed for major improvements. However, since it could be some years out yet, we believe for the safety of the travelers, we need to do this work until such permanent solution can be implemented. And also as part of this, the town crews, the town street department, have finished the installation of the Monroe and 2nd Street storm sewer pipe. And with this, I'm requesting to add 2 projects here simultaneously to quote out pavement restoration on Monroe and 2nd Street for the town crew's street cuts, and concrete work for the driveway for the gentleman which they installed the inlet for, and then also to quote out the Eller Bush culvert and do the patchwork. I will note that the patchwork will require on Eller Bush, the gas main by Centerpoint to be relocated in advance too. So we've already kind of got that started.
All right, I need a motion to approve the request to quote culvert crossing on Ellerbush Road.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion?
Drew, will the road need to be closed?
The Eller Bush,
Yeah.
I would think it'd be closed for probably maybe a day or 2 for the gas relocation work, and then a day or 2 maximum to do the culvert.
Because that's a tricky place.
It's
We
very
make
tricky.
sure Cookie gets everybody notified.
Yep.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Madam President?
Yes?
I just want to comment to Chris. I don't know if you know this or not, but the subdivision that I'm in that's off of Ellerbush, we have a Facebook page, and everybody is pretty much a part of that, reading it, so it might be a good place to also put some kind of comment.
Okay, I'll get it taken care of.
Okay, thank you.
All right, one thing, you asked for the pavement restoration on Monroe. Was that in with the motion too?
It can be, or if you want it
I-
separate.
Let's have it separate, because I don't think I understood that that was part of the original.
Okay, sorry,
All right.
apologize.
No, that's fine, it's my fault, I didn't include it. I need a motion for to include the pavement restoration on Monroe in second.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed? Motion carries. All right, Drew, the EQ Basin Project?
Yes, so this is part of the sewer department's upcoming project for the Flow EQ project. There was a tank supplier that was pre-selected through competitive bidding. As part of this, the work that they're to supply during actual construction, they were to work with the design team to implement their tank into the design set of plans. As part of that agreement, they were to be billed separate from that general contract. So at this time, they have fulfilled their contractual obligations, and the engineer recommends the town go ahead and approve and accept their plans to allow them to receive payment.
All right, I need a motion to approve the wastewater treatment plant Flow EQ Basin Project.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries. Drew, Kenwood Court.
Yes, so there's 2 requests with this one. First one is an IDM 401 nationwide permit. It's required to provide the overtop protection for exposed sewer. We talked about phase 1, phase 2, so this is the phase 1 repair that's taking place. It's within a jurisdictional waterway. So our first request is to approve authorization for town to execute the permit to allow the engineer to submit on the town's behalf. And then the second request is to allow authorization for engineer to work with the sewer department to seek quotes to go ahead and do the work.
Okay. So do you do those together?
You can do them together or separate if you
Any
want.
problem with doing them together?
I don't have a problem with together.
Okay, I need a motion to accept the Kenwood Court repair waterway for
So
phase one.
we're doing two separate ones then?
I think we could do it together, I'll word it to where it's together.
Okay.
Okay, let's read what you would put it, how you would put it together.
Let me read it.
Yep.
So recommend to approve submittal of the IDM 401 nationwide permit and then request authorization to quote the project.
Do you have any questions? All right, all those, that is the motion. Do I have a second?
Second.
Do we have any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries.
Steve, did you first that, or did you motion first? I only got to second motion.
I think it was,
I had him read the motion.
Okay.
yeah, but that's not making a motion.
Somebody said,
What he said. Okay, I make the motion of what he said.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
all right. I assume we want to leave the two unfinished business still tabled?
Yes.
Okay, we'll go on to staff reports. Chris?
I have, you have my report in front of you. I'll highlight a couple things I want to hit first. Since I sent that on Friday, I have worked with Centerpoint, our team here has. We've turned in 10 of the taller light posts in the downtown area, and they should be putting together a game plan on getting those repainted. I've been working with Jenna and her team, so hopefully before the weather turns, we're gonna see some paint on some of those poles that are a nice primer color right now, so that's kind of coming. And then I sent it out via text the other day, but the Lou Dennis Solar Farm is active. And then we'll get a date. I believe they're gonna go senior center next, but we'll keep you in the loop on that. I also wanted to follow up on the press release we sent out about the release of the utility inspections for the past 3 years. It was over 900 pages of inspections. And I put the 2 websites that I've been sharing that's open to the public to do additional digging on items 15 and 16. And those are good resources. So we've got a lot of good feedback from that, a lot of good coverage, and just kind of distancing ourselves from the whole scenario by showing what we did. And, you know, we did everything and then some as far as the utility in that matter. So the minute
How many requests have you had for written?
just the media, and that was it. And then some of the agencies that are investigating it, Russell's been giving them copies, because we've had several, but I think, I don't want to speak, but maybe one person came by to look at it outside of the media. So I mean, and we'll still make it available if somebody was to show up tomorrow, but all the information that is in those inspections is also found on those websites that I provided. But on those websites, you can search by zip code and area, so it would show every permit holder in our area and give you like all the information that's been turned in. More to come on that from a enforcement standpoint from up top. But as far as we're concerned, we're just providing information at this point. And I would imagine we'll be subpoenaed for some of those reports again as they get in the criminal side of it. Working with Centerpoint as well on various street light replacements. We've had several turned in the past couple of weeks. They're working through them and then we're inspecting them and following back up with the customer or the residents. Number 9 on the boat dock, we had a meeting yesterday with a gentleman from, I forget the name of the company, but he did Mount Vernon, Indiana's dock. And he kind of looked over what we had. They're based out of the Kentucky Lake region. And he's getting us some information because what was sent to us from the original company that we've been working with, we're probably making a recommendation to send that back and start over because it's not what was promised. And it's kind of drug along, and I think we're just gonna go another direction and start over, but I'll make a recommendation once we have a finalization on that, and I'll update you that way, but stay tuned on that. I am working on a public art grant. Currently, that's due by the end of the month for up to 2 murals. There was discussion at the Warwick County 250 meeting the other night about doing a 250 mural, and there might be some additional grant resources for that I'll keep you in the loop on that. I know Ann was at that meeting as well. And then I put item number 4, I wanted to kind of get some guidance on the speed table. You know, as we look at, I went back through a lot of the complaints from the initial speed table configuration, and when we did the adjustment, a lot of those folks' issues had kind of been alleviated. The only issue that we've had since was, you heard from her earlier, that is really the only documented negative that we've had within the town limits. And I know Drew and I went out there and met at the site and inspected. And I guess earlier in the year, this council had approved up to $30,000 in 6 potential other locations. And I know we don't have the money to do all 6, but I guess I wanted some guidance because this has been an issue. I didn't know if I've made the recommendation based on talking to Drew that we do just one other one in addition to this one in between, on Jennings, in between Monroe and Washington, not near any driveways or anything, and then focus on the traffic calming crosswalk that's gonna go in by the Mercantile, potentially in 26. And then there's no money in the budget next year for speed tables because we've been working with everybody on that. But to then take that corridor and roll it into our SS4A study grant and have them take a look at it for recommendations on if this is the path forward we want to take or not. But I guess what I'm asking for is some direction on how you want us to move going forward, or if you wanted me to pull back and do a more formal presentation at a later council meeting. I just didn't know. I sent you the only complaint was the correspondence from her from earlier. I sent the videos that she had supplied us. I'd sent all that stuff. But since we put the additional flat spot in, that's really been the only negative that I've had that I can't really, you know, some of her, I'm not discounting some of her concerns, but I don't know how you overcome and can prove that traffic has done that. And I know Drew kind of came to some conclusions on that as well, because I know, not to throw Dr. Perry on the bus, but he lives right across the street, and he's got a wine wall right about the same distance, and I've talked to him extensively, and there hadn't been any movement in any of the wine bottles, and I don't know how to explain that. So I guess what I'm asking for is some direction on how you want us to proceed, or there's even a third option. I know Drew and I have talked about just kind of leaving it as is and studying it, and then come back and see what the study plans say, again, with that SS4A grant that we were just awarded. We'll be moving forward with that very soon and kind of roll it into that. I guess I just want some direction, because I know regardless of direction, there will be some feedback initially. You're gonna get the 10 to 15% of people that drive through that are gonna be negative online. I don't read that, I don't care that. I try to put stuff forward to you to where it's gonna make the pedestrian traffic and the vehicular traffic safer in this corridor. This is a heavily walked area, and there's not a crosswalk for a good long distance. And that's part of the reason why we focused on that area first after we took our gaze off of Water Street. So I guess I'm just asking for some discussion and some direction forward.
Well, I'd like to comment. First off, I've been rather negative about this since day one. So yeah, you've received negative comments. I mean, I live here too. I'm still not in favor of continuing with this. I wish the one was not even there. And to spend that kind of money, it just kills me. And I've lived on Jennings Street for over 25 years. Not now, but I did live there for 25 years. The traffic has been a problem, yes. I don't think this is the solution. I hate it. I don't want it there. I'm not gonna be voting for anything that's to continue that.
You had a situation where you tried to pull out.
Oh, yeah, that did happen to me out here.
Describing.
I was parked out here. It was, I guess, for a council meeting. It may have been a committee meeting, I don't remember. And so I waited. I could see a string of traffic coming from the west. And I waited until the guy got onto the speed table because I wasn't sure how he was gonna handle it. And he barely got over it and accelerated to the point where I had started then to pull out. I thought I had time. And he would almost closely hit me. And Ann happened to be across the street and watched it. I just am so against it. I just want that to be known. And I won't vote for it if we continue to try to put another one on. That's one comment, so I think I'll leave it at that right now, but then I have a comment on the town manager report.
Okay, well, let's finish this one.
Yes.
Any other comments? Yay, nay, what?
I'm not prepared to take action one way or the other at this point right now. I think that we need to see what other communities have, when they've gotten feedback from their pilot program, what they're saying. I take what you say very seriously, and we want to do the right thing. We want to do the right thing for everybody involved, and sometimes that's not possible. But I personally would like to see Chris Cook instructed to get some more information from other communities, and as far as how they are placed and how they work in tandem.
Drew, what was,
Yeah, I can note a few
Yeah.
things. If you can do, we can take a look at it and do a corridor study and look at traffic calming. We obviously, I think everybody in the room can agree that there's the volume of traffic and the speed out there is making for some unsafe situations for pedestrians. I think we can all agree on that. So then it's how do you reduce the volume, reduce the speed? We have a sensitive area that's a historical district. We want to blend it into the environment, make it friendly, and again, allow everybody to feel safe, right? So there's some other methods you can look at as well. Maybe it's like a physical restraint. You can look at maybe a choker type system where you can neck it down at intersections. We talked about doing like a crosswalk bump out. Again, those perceived elements where you physically narrow the roadway down slows down traffic. There's been numerous studies that show police enforcement and signs alone, and we know we don't want to put additional signs out there, do not reduce speeds. So there needs to be something out there, whether you can even do some psycho-perception, what they call it, where you can do striping out there to try to, again, narrow down the corridor to slow traffic down. So there can be some other options that you can certainly evaluate. Some of those may cost a little bit more money. Some of them may be a little bit reduced element. But again, there's some options out there that you may be interested to look at, but it would start through the whole entire corridor. I don't think you can just start at one location. You need to look at the whole entire area, because like Ms. Richardson even said, they're stopping there and then it's speeding up quickly. So there needs to be multiple type of, let's say, physical restrictions or striping that takes place to physically slow down the traffic through the whole entire route. I can't tell you exactly what the best situation is. You know, there's a high volume of traffic. I think it would need to be studied and evaluated and discussed with the group to see what the best solution and remedy would be.
Drew, I 100% echo that the speed is a problem. It's a problem. It was a worse problem before the hump went in. Now it's a noise problem. I mean, I can, as somebody that lives across the street, I concur with that.
Yeah.
But doing nothing there is more dangerous than what we're doing presently. So I'm open to any and all suggestions, understanding that cost is always an element of the decision-making. But I'd like to see, rather than just say this is a terrible idea, I'd like to see what the other solutions are.
So would we roll that into the SS4A?
We would have to look exactly what the constraints of that is for the corridor story. I do know there's some certain elements in there that grant program was based on pedestrian safety in key areas, but we can certainly look at that.
I did misspeak. There was one, I don't think it would be necessarily a negative, but there was one request recently to look at adjusting the speed hump signage. We have to have the signs right at the hump, and to kind of accommodate that request, after I spoke with Drew, we would have to add additional signage, which technically is not required per the, didn't you say that wasn't?
You need to have the signs at the actual speed hump itself at minimum, but if you want advanced warning, then you have to implement additional signs. So again, do we want more signs, or you just want to put it at the speed table?
It wasn't really a negative comment. It was more, could you look at some advance? Is there a requirement? And we knew we were good, but we don't want to put more signs through that historic corridor either. And that's why we went with the initial for the study, just to do the bare bones minimum with signage and then get a public announcement, out there going like we have. But I mean, I'm perfectly fine. I just know the only other positive feedback is people have told me when they turn off west on Monroe here, right beside this building, they can actually make that turn a lot easier. That's some positive feedback that I've heard. But pretty much since the initial story that we were gonna put it out there and put it in, it's been radio silent since about 3 or 4 days outside of Miss Richardson and the call that I had about the signage from a resident. Those are the only two really yay or nays that I've had. But I obviously don't want to, just because money's been allocated, I don't want to spend it, And I think the best path forward would be to do like what the other council members are asking, to where we kind of hold tight on what we've got there and study the corridor, and then look at it, after that study. What would it be, sometime next year when the study would be finished probably?
Yes.
And then we were planning on bringing through the sidewalk committee, if it gets through there, a traffic calming option at, right there at the Mercantile and the House of White, where there potentially could be a bump out type scenario to kind of choke that down through there anyway. And there were 4 or 5 other crosswalks that we were looking at, 4 others that we were looking at doing something similar. But those would be related to kind of something that we'd probably bring forth in 26.
I think at this point, we need to see how this home weathers.
Oh, I agree.
Because, we got a lot of promises about it'd be perfect.
And that's why I spoke to I leaned pretty heavily on the Cleveland, Ohio folks with our municipality when we were doing the fact finding, because they have such temperature swings, and with the snow, amount of lake effect snows and stuff, and that's why I really am trusting them at their word. But I'm like you, I want to see it.
Well, I think at this point in the year, at this point in the weather, why not? Why not wait until spring, see how it's weathered through the winter, see how the snowplows handle it?
But since
I thought from the beginning that it was misplaced, that it's too close to the intersection with the three-way stop. People are already slowing down because because of traffic, and because they know that most people know that it's a three-way stop. Going west, you've got a straight stretch for acceleration. I heard a guy the other day with his pickup truck accelerate 3 times before he got to Mercantile. He hadn't even gotten to Titzer's yet. He was gunning it the whole way. So something that was more central probably would have been a better place to start, but it is what it is at this point.
But for example, like for the money through the sidewalk committee, I believe the cost to put like a crosswalk with a speed hump built in permanent, that was around 60 to 70 grand.
Yes.
So, to kind of talk about cost, if you make it a permanent type feature and you go that route, you're looking at some serious money.
Right.
And that's another reason why we kind of went this route as the trial. And $9,000 is a lot too. I don't want to discount that, but it's a heck of a lot more palatable than putting 60 to 70 grand in each one of these that we put in.
Eric, have you noticed any change in speeding conditions on Jennings Street?
Personally, I've noticed it has slowed down coming right through here. Like the average speed has probably slowed down right through here.
So it's working in this block
It's
and a
working in
half?
this area. I think what part of my proposal at the time though was one thing alone is not going to fix the entire solution. It's a whole collage of things, and the one is, to me, is just not adequate. I mean, yeah, it's right here, but we need more. That's my personal opinion.
Thank you.
Any other questions? So I think the direction is
Study.
study.
Okay. And then she had a question outside.
Yes.
Oh, just in general, over the town manager's report, are you ready for me to say that now, Stacy?
Sure.
Okay, well, I appreciate your report because we've never really had anything documented about all the different meetings that the town manager goes to, but I don't know, I don't think you have to justify your time to us. We know that it has to be overwhelming, all the different meetings and places you go. I think I'm more interested in, and you do a good job at our council meeting to try to explain some of this, just like we went over the speed bump, but I'd like an extra sentence about some of them, like when you went to the Kaiser community meeting, were there any things that stood out in your mind that maybe we should know about, or any of those kinds of things? Because you are the person that is out there and you hear all of these comments. So I just wonder if there's anything we should be aware of. An extra sentence with some of them, just something that stands out in your mind when you walk away from that meeting and you think,
The only
oh,
takeaway from both the Kaiser and the Alcoa community meetings is I made them aware of our rental facilities
Okay.
and our cabins, because they were talking about long-term stays for different people that utilize their facilities.
Sure.
And they were talking about some of the hotel spend, and I said, we've got 2 cabins 5 minutes from you that have just been revamped, and they didn't have any idea.
Sure.
So hopefully we're trying to culture some of those relationships, but I can easily do that.
okay.
So you don't
And
want,
not
like,
on every meeting, just, some things that stand out to you,
okay.
that you go home and think about.
But
and
usually
think,
when I don't, like if I have something that stands out, I put that in the miscellaneous. If-
Okay.
But if, those meetings, a lot of it's focused on what's going on at the plant. There's very little of how it relates to us, but
Okay.
it's still good for us to have a presence in both those.
And I agree,
opportunities.
and for us to market ourselves is perfect, but also there's the aspect of, do you walk away and learn something from what Kaiser is doing that you should bring back to us, or
Oh, yeah,
could bring back
we
to us?
learned, we didn't do a tour this time, but at the Alcoa meeting, we did an actual tour. It wasn't much of a meeting, and we did a physical tour of the plant, and that was very eye-opening. I hadn't been out there since college in the inner workings, and everything you hear, I mean, it's hot in a couple of those places, and to
Yeah.
have the amount of electricity that goes into the
Yeah.
process, it's really eye-opening, so.
Yeah,
The fish return system too that they have on the power plant side, where they actually pull the coolant water off to cool things, they have a return system that if a fish gets pulled in, it returns it. It's something to see as well.
oh, I bet.
And, but yeah, I can try to do that.
Just not on everything, but just some things that stand out in your mind. Thank you. Thank you, Chris.
I like what you started doing with personnel section, residents. I like knowing that you're out there in the field talking to our people.
Well, it's not just me. I usually bring Riley or Andrea,
And miscellaneous, but that's good, not just meetings, not a lot of meetings, but to know that you're actually out there in the field, and especially with the residents.
Thank you.
Okay. Any other questions? Andrea, Deputy Town Manager report.
You guys have your report in front of you. I know Chris was just mentioning the SS4A. So we have received the fully executed agreement. So I think me, Drew, Chris, and some others are gonna get together and figure out the next steps are for that. I sent you guys all the parking study. You guys have that final. We are meeting in October. We don't have a date yet. But once Nelson Nygaard gets back in, we will meet with them and then eventually go over all of that. FEMA, we're still meeting. I met with them again today. And so everything's moving forward. Still the debris is the only one that's obligated. We're a little bit closer on the emergency work for wastewater, which is that over 300,000. So that's a big number. And then the trail itself and that drainage pipe. So we're working towards that. The only other thing is I told you guys I'm working on the newsletter. So I have pieces and it's starting to come together. So if you guys have anything you want, let me know. I would like to get it to the printer the first part of October. That way it would get in mid-October for all the residents. So if you guys have anything, let me know.
And then it would go out, what, a couple weeks later?
Yeah, probably like
Okay.
mid-October, I'll be able to
Okay.
get it. So it'll have all anything Halloween related, anything, all the fall events, winter
Okay.
events and all that stuff. And then, two more things. I'm gonna get with you guys. We've had a lot of discussions back and forth with Ellerbush and Plum. And you guys have obligated, or not necessarily obligated, but you put money towards different objects. I need to get with Nanette, because me and I maybe look at some things after everything that's happened with the Community Crossings grant and all this stuff. So I need to get with her. I want to get you guys a breakdown of what we said each dollar was gonna go to, what we've spent so far, and what that's gonna look like moving forward, so we can have those
They
discussions.
get that report once a month, but yes.
Yeah,
and-
well, but knowing what we might need.
Right.
Yeah.
So, and I have to put our heads together.
And then other than that, next week I'll be in Fort Wayne for the Preserving Historic Places Conference. So, it's pretty much jam-packed that Tuesday through Thursday. But I'll have my laptop, my phone, so if you guys need me, let me know. And then Friday, they have a few tours, in the morning, and then I'll be heading home, so I'll be available by phone if you guys need me.
What about possibly using FEMA for a lot of erosion down here on Water Street? Have we heard anything about that?
Well, so with this trail portion, we submitted the in-kind, which is around 62,000 for the in-kind, and then it went up if you did the Gaben baskets or that concrete wall. So we met with them and the mitigation team, and then today when they came down, he had me submit everything for the in-kind. Not saying that the mitigation isn't still possible, but they want to move forward with the in-kind to get us at least that money that would just put the riprap back in. And then there's things that we have to prove to them. So during that meeting, I need to show other flooding events, things that have happened. So I'm pulling all that data to get to them to show them that this isn't just like a one-time thing. If,
It's continuing.
right. So I'm pulling all that to get that to them, and then they're reviewing everything that we sent to them. So fingers crossed the in-kind we know at least will go through, but the mitigation part of it, we don't know yet. So that's all I have, unless you guys have any questions for me.
I have a question, of course, I'm sorry, guys. Okay, you had in your report the dates that would be changed so far as town council.
For 2026,
Well, actually, I wanted to ask you about 2025.
okay.
But you had, that's what made
Oh,
me think about it.
that sparked you.
Okay, there are, I know at least a couple of us that are going to the AIM conference, which is October 21st through the 23rd.
So you guys have already motioned to change that. So the council meeting is gonna be on that Monday, the 20th.
Okay, see, I didn't have that written down. Oh, I know why, because I'm going up on the 20th.
Okay.
But, I mean, you can do without me at one town council meeting. most people won't go up till the next day, but
Yeah.
because it takes me 6.5 hours to drive a 2-hour stint. I encountered this before.
So yeah, so that one's moved, and then you guys moved the Thanksgiving meeting and also the December, the
Yes.
Christmas meeting, so.
Yeah, I had those written down.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. I
You're
just want to make sure I knew what.
A comment about the British phone booth. I don't remember exactly, but are you the one who contacted me about the photographer who wanted to use the phone booth? Or, okay, well, I had a photographer contact me, who had talked to someone here about getting the phone booth opened so that they could take pictures. And they knew other people who would be interested in doing that also, and I said, you know, I don't have a problem with that because I never intended for it to be locked up. But because it was abused, it had to be locked up, and I get that, and I'm sorry about that. But, after talking to this person for a while, there are, photography clubs that meet, and I said, well, maybe we could have a designated day, time, when, you know, such and such photography club could come, or people, you know, who are just looking for places to take pictures.
Yeah.
To come and use the phone booth and have the door open. So, I don't know if we wanna pursue that, if, you know, if there's somebody out there in TV land who is interested in having that opportunity, then why not just open it for other people too, but all at the same time. I mean, I don't wanna be doing, today we do this, tomorrow we do this for somebody else, but, you know, if we have a couple of days and each one of the days.
Could we make a whole event out of that one day, like a salute to our sister city or something? We
Sure,
we don't ever really do too much anymore about the sister city.
I thought about that as a British car
Yes,
club.
yeah.
It's so cool.
Yeah, it is. And they had, oh my gosh, they had so many this year,
Yeah, it did.
so.
But, you know, they also had some empty spaces, and I thought it would have been nice to have a information.
Tribute to,
An information booth about the sister city.
yeah.
That's a whole other story, but anyway. You might
Yeah.
want to think about that and how we could promote that.
Is it easily unlocked? I mean, can you go out there and just
I
unlock it?
have no idea.
It's screwed
Okay,
shut.
I was like, I have no idea how it's even closed up. So yeah, I mean, it'd probably be something I would just get with Gerald on,
Okay.
because I'm sure he's the one that probably locked
It's
it up.
screwed shut, but it is
Yeah.
definitely, it's definitely been tampered with.
Okay,
Since it's been painted, it's definitely,
Yeah.
somebody's opened it up.
all right, I'll look into it for sure.
Sounds great. Good idea, Ann.
Thank you.
All right, zoning administrator?
You guys have her report in your packet. If you guys have any questions, just let me know.
Any questions for zoning? We'll go on to clerk treasurer.
I just wanted to remind everybody that the public hearing for our 26 budget is at next council, October 8th at 5:30. And then budget approval will be on that Monday, October 20th, at 5:30.
Any questions for Nanette? Chris, town attorney?
The only thing I have is an agreement that I believe you all received today about 413 Middle Street and the sewer connection, but that's in the utility motions. I think there's a motion there, so maybe we'll just handle it when we get there.
Any questions for Chris? Town engineer?
No additional items unless you have any questions for me.
And any questions for Drew? We'll go on to commission committee reports. Air Authority, no report. BZA, Ann?
No meeting, no report. We're scheduled to meet again on the 27th of October.
All right, any questions for Ann or I? Ann, fire, or chief?
Nick?
All right, good evening, everyone. As to keep up, just with run totals that we've been going off of for the year, 561 in August 26th, September 29th. So again, we're steady at about where we look at being at from here on out. 27 personnel that we are sitting strong with. Talk a little bit about the PBTT fire that we were involved with. I did send 4 sets of turnout gear off for inspection, everything passed, so we didn't have any direct exposure to any of that gear. A few repairs that are needing to get made that we're gonna send off. That's all gonna be turned in with all the large claim that's going in that we're working with Ohio Township Fire Department and taking care of that, so there's not gonna be any cost to us on those things. We are going to have a post-incident discussion on that fire on October 1st, so next month I'll be able to bring some more info and things that we learned from it. Obviously, it was a very large scale, something that we haven't experienced many times around here, and hopefully that we never have to again. So definitely hope to come out of that with a lot of information on
That's on October 1st?
October 1st, yeah.
Is it, could one of us come if we wanted to?
I'll find out. I don't know. I know it's all first responders
Okay.
that were involved in it.
Oh,
So
okay, for the whole
yeah,
area,
it's
not
the
just,
briefing for the responders.
not
that were
just our
involved.
town. Okay, I got it.
Correct, yes, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
It's, you know, obviously from what you saw in the news and what you may have heard, I mean, there was a lot of agencies that were
Yeah,
involved. I mean,
no, I don't need to be a part of
Evansville
that.
Fire Department, Spencer County Departments, I mean, we had at one point, I think, 9 or 10 total agencies there,
Yeah.
plus all law enforcement, EMA, and the federal resources that came and assisted. So definitely a learning experience
Sure.
and still an ongoing learning experience that we're experiencing. I do have one request I wanted to ask you guys about. I was contacted by Alyssa Enright, who is our county coroner, and she is wanting, they have 2 vehicles that they utilize for the entire county. They're both stationed up at the jail, and she was wanting to see if it would be okay if she parked in the parking lot at the fire station, her vehicle. No liability on us, her insurance and everything. She knows she's responsible. I just wanted to make sure that was all right before I gave her the okay that it was okay to park there. So
Obviously, it's okay with you.
yeah, it's absolutely fine with us. I mean, it's, you know, they're short on resources when it comes to just those 2, and a lot of the times, if, you know, we have a fatality or something, we have to have a coroner come down here. They're having to drive up to the jail in Boonville to get the vehicle and come back, and there's a lot of times that the departments down here are waiting to assist with anything that we might have to with removing a subject from there. So it kind of just spreads it out over the county and makes it a little easier for them to access. The coroner and the deputy coroners are coming from all over. We have 2 deputy coroners that are located directly here in the Newburgh area. So it would make it a lot easier for them to just be able to pick their vehicle up.
Chris, do we need a motion for that, or do we just a recommendation?
I don't know that you need one. I mean, I think it probably wouldn't hurt to have
Okay.
approval. I mean, I think.
All right, we can have a motion. I make a motion that we allow the use of the fire station parking lot to park the coroner's, one of the coroner's vehicles.
It's just a small white van.
Okay.
All right, so.
Do I have a second? Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed?
Okay. I appreciate that. Any questions by anybody? All right, thank you.
Thanks, Chief. All right, historic preservation, no report. Parks, Paul?
Yeah, since our last meeting, the Parks Board met on September 11th. A couple of simple updates and then something just to make the council aware of. Simple update, ready grant money still out there and not, we don't really know when it's gonna break loose, but I don't think it'll still be this year. That's my view. And that information comes from Steve Raleigh at Economic Development.
They did ask me, I sent them yesterday, day before, I sent them a memo.
Yeah.
That outlined it.
I don't think it's gonna be long, but it's
Yeah,
not gonna be this month
It
or
was
next.
just
or
an email
whatever.
asking me to outline exactly how we would spend the money and all that stuff, so.
Yeah.
They did ask me to send them that yesterday, so.
And so,
We're still on, I mean, we're not talking about doing anything serious till March.
no, I know, but it's a topic at Parks Board every single.
Well,
It is,
yeah.
it is,
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah. The second thing was the day after the Parks Board met was the Day of Caring with the Kaiser team helping out on the trail, and I wasn't there, but I heard it was an excellent event. And then last, and this is just for information, that day came fairly proximate to some public events that we all are aware of. And so there was a robust discussion on whether there'd been discussion about the security at the amphitheater when there's public events held there. So the way we left it is that I would take it up with the chief at the next police commission meeting, which is going to be this Friday, just to talk about that issue and get some feedback and assess, I guess, the situation, and if any recommendations need to be made, then we'll bring those here.
Can I ask you about, is there concern with some of the concerts at the amphitheater?
I think emotions were running pretty high. It was September 11th.
Okay,
And there had, been a very recent, well-known person, shot in a public setting, and I think this was on people's minds, and I
Okay.
think it's reasonable
Sure.
to ask the question, so.
Okay.
But it dominated the meeting, so.
maybe, I don't know, somehow could we relay that so far our concerts have been so small in attendance. And, we of course hope to build on that, but everybody that comes, I'm sitting there at the ticket table, and Stacy's experienced this too. I know most all the people. They're just our Newburgh citizens. This isn't like a concert where,
I
I
don't
don't
think you should feel bad about it. It's just something that the board, the question that they ask,
Okay.
and I don't disagree with your assessment of, sort of it's a low risk situation,
Very low
but still, I
key,
think
yeah.
the questions have been asked, and I don't think it should just be ignored, so.
no, that's good.
Yeah,
And I think it's not necessarily your concert, I think it's a broader scope, like if we rented it out for a bigger event, if there was
Okay.
a larger event going on there, what's our overall safety? It can come down to even, not necessarily just the amphitheaters, but, in my head, the fireworks, or some of these larger events that we have at the park or at the amphitheater, like,
Sure.
what are we making sure that we're as safe as possible
Okay.
during those
Okay.
times?
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good deal.
And a lot of communities have emergency call boxes, and maybe one of those needs to be
Sure.
added into the structure.
Although most of these events have somebody on site, off-duty or what have you on site.
Especially the larger ones, for sure, yeah.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
when you get over 5,000, it has to have a plan
Mhm.
that is on file with the.
500.
or-
500, is that the rule?
I think
So we
so.
don't really have anybody there during most of our events, is that fair to say?
So I know, anything that H&I does, generally, I think they get with Warwick County,
Yeah,
and they submit something, but I think the amphitheater and stuff, they did not do the
Sure.
smaller ones, no.
fair enough. Anyway,
It's 5,000.
that was discussed, and
Okay.
I'm letting,
It needs to be addressed.
yeah, at least
Okay.
needs to be
I'll double check.
considered,
A
exactly.
few times.
All right, any questions
The next Parks
Okay.
Board meeting is October 2nd, I think it's next Thursday.
Okay. It's hard to believe that next week is October. That's just not right. Myself for plan, no report, and then Paul for police.
Yeah, no meeting, no report, next meeting, Friday, 9/26, in other words,
Okay.
2 days.
Steve, stormwater.
No meeting, no report.
All right, street, Ann.
Lots to report. The street crew has been busy cleaning drains and picking up limbs from the heavy rainfall that we've had. They continue to work on the Monroe Street drainage project, building a catch basin form and installing the pipe and pouring the concrete for the catch basin. They delivered rock to the trailhead for Park Pals. They picked up and installed 17 new parking bumpers on the parking lot by Crickets. They replaced a bad water pump on the Dodge pickup. They continued washing the graffiti off the walkway. They continued cleaning the walkway and town parking lots, and they didn't put this on here, but they should have. There were no deficiencies for the facility inspection that they went through for the MS4 audit. They cleaned house very well.
questions for Ann? All right, Steve, utility.
Yes, utility met September 11th at 1 o'clock. And you've got the utility motions in your package today. And we would be happy to answer any questions about them. In the meantime, I'd like to make a motion that we approve motions 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. You'll notice 6, 7, and 8 are not in red, but they should have been in red, so that's why I've included them too. We did not take any action individually on those tonight. So, again, my motion, I move that we approve items 2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
I would second.
Any discussion?
Number 4, the family video location. Aren't they tearing that building down and starting over? That was my understanding when they made the presentation. I don't know who, if it was Russell, I guess. I took it that they were tearing it down.
That doesn't affect this then?
I don't think they're going, the foundation is still gonna be used, isn't it? Isn't that the basis of it?
I didn't think so. I thought they were putting up a whole nother building, but I could have misunderstood.
That's actually from the publicity that they put out.
Well, I think this waiver allows an external grease trap. It could be based on what they're going to build there,
Yeah.
what they've asked for, but it's a,
Yeah, that's exactly right. That's what it was, is that the new people who own it wanted to use an external grease trap, and it is being torn down. There's a new building going in, and that is gonna have an external grease trap, and that's why Russell needed to have it approved.
And number 2,
thank you.
this puts any future sale on any potential future sale of the lots that are together. This won't affect someone coming eventually and buying one or the other and not being obligated to take them both. They can be split, even though they're not split right now, but they could be.
What's happened is that if that property is split up in any way that includes the smaller, the garage structure that has a apartment as such in it, that if that was ever sold, they'd have to, the people who were buying it would have to get a new tap permit and go through inspection and everything as well. They couldn't just continue to use it the way it is right now.
I did wonder that too, when I read what came through on email about it. And I don't know that day, maybe this is something that was decided after a meeting, like after everybody studied it more, I don't know. But when I left there, I didn't think that was part of what we actually discussed, and it's fine with me, as long as they understand that someday down the road, if they sell, and I thought their intention was to sell.
Well, we were pretty clear in what we talked about, that if that ever was sold, so if that property was split up, the new property owner would have to pay for a tap fee, even though they already had a tap, and they'd have to do anything else that would be normal for a property owner new property owner to have to do for sewer.
And you think they understood that?
Yeah, they definitely understood that.
Okay.
100%.
Don't you agree with that,
Yeah,
guys?
let's just make sure everybody understands, because maybe don't have it visually. This is 4 lots that they own there. There's split 2 on one side of the alley, 2 on the other side of the alley. 2 on only 2 of them are involved here. One, there's the carriage house, the small house, and then the main house. And those are on 2 lots. And then there's empty lots on the other side of the alley. So the 2 with the carriage house and the house are what's in play here. Those have always been together, owned together and used together. They're connected to sewer. The whole thing that they've done is there's a bathroom in the carriage house and it's connected to the house, right?
Right.
Sewer. And so They've not expressed any desire to sell.
Oh, I thought they had. I thought that day they were pretty clear that they will.
I didn't think so. They indicated that they were not, and they might rent it, I guess, they could, but they weren't gonna sell. And it was very clear to them that if they ever sold it, if it ever separated, and if it could be separated, because it's not clear whether that house by itself meets zoning code or not, but it would have to have its own sewer.
Okay.
And they would have to pay that, and they were fine with that.
Yeah,
So-
there was no
so-
question in their mind,
And,
that they understood, that's actually what they wanted when they
Right.
came in.
They want to be able to keep those connected, and they can't be connected together if they're owned separately. You just can't have that.
No, of
situation.
course not.
So, and so to add on to that, Susan emailed you all an agreement. It's not in what I have, but maybe you have it. But this motion is basically suggests that we will prepare an agreement, which we've already prepared. So do you approve these? And if you're willing to go ahead and approve the agreement, then I can get that to the owners.
Yes, we have the agreement.
You have the agreement, so we could approve the agreement. We've done these before. This may be the first one I remember doing in town, but we've done them before for pool houses and other buildings where they're
right.
connected together. So,
Was it ever
if you,
determined- I'm
huh?
sorry, go
If
ahead.
you approve all the motions and then maybe subsequently approve separately the agreement.
So was it ever determined how long ago this happened, or?
Based on the information that we have and what they said, it seems like that it was done before they bought it. We don't have any, I mean, we're just going on what we can piece together and what they specifically said.
Yeah, based off of old permits, things like that.
Right.
I mean, roughly 2 owners ago, maybe,
So we have no record in the,
if it officially happened.
Susan didn't have any record, and I don't think we found anything in the zoning office that would say that when it was done, or what was done, or whether taps were paid or not. We can't tell, but this seemed like the simplest way to
The
resolve it.
cleanest way to handle it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last 2 owners have each had it for quite a while, but for a while, it was back and forth with lots of different owners. So that would have been in the late 80s.
Well, the main thing that the utility board, the utility committee wanted to do was to make sure that they understood, the owners understood that they couldn't break that carriage house off without having the new owners to have to pay both the tap fee and any other expenses or obligations that they would normally have as an owner of a lot that was developed.
And to physically make the connection.
Yeah.
Separate the buildings and make the connection.
Okay.
Which I think there are some reasons why that is expensive and why it may not be what they want to do anyway. To make the connection to the Middle Street sewer separately.
Steve, do you want to make a motion?
I think I made the motion to approve
Did you?
2, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8.
Do we have a second?
I thought you just said you would prefer,
I'm okay with you approving Steve's motion of all of these motions.
And then we'll do the
separately
agreement.
the agreement.
okay.
Yeah, Steve,
Yes, I would say.
Steve already made a motion, Leanna seconded it for the utility motions, and you
Okay,
guys were in
all right.
discussion.
All right. Thank you for keeping me straight. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, now we would need a motion to accept the agreement concerning 413 Middle Street and the carriage house.
Yeah, I would make that motion.
Do I have a second?
I would second.
All right, any other discussion? All those in favor on accepting the agreement, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, motion carries. Okay, anything else, Steve?
I think that's it.
All right. Go on to finance. No report, except we will be having the public hearing at the next meeting for the budget. Anything you want to add to that, Annette?
The budget notice to taxpayers has been posted to the DLGF website. If anybody would like the link to it, you can call me or email me.
Okay. And personnel?
Personnel met on September the 18th, and you received information in your packet about the recommendations that I'm going to make tonight that come from the Personnel Committee. First of all, for 2026, the raise for civil, town, police, and street will be 3% if it's approved. And the raise for elected officials will also be 3%. So I would make that in the form of 2 motions.
What, do you want to do them separate then?
Or-
So,
yes,
okay,
yes.
we'll do the civil town. You wanna do-
Civil town, police, and street in one
Okay.
motion.
All right,
Elected officials in the second.
all right, the first motion.
So I move the 2026 raise for civil town, police, and street be 3%.
Do I have a second?
I'm not on the finance committee, so
I
well,
will-
yes, I am.
I'm saying, thought you
I'm
were.
tired. I see you there all the time.
On the personnel.
Yeah, I'm not on personnel, that's, I guess, what I was thinking. I would second it if you want me to.
That is fine. Do we have any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? All right, the second motion.
Motion is the raise for 2026 for elected officials be 3%.
All right, do I have a second? I will second that. Do we have any discussion? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed?
No.
Aye, no, whatever you want to.
Okay. Do we want a discussion?
No, I think it passed.
What was the vote?
It did, but I would still like to have a discussion.
So
Was it
three,
three?
so 3-2? Okay, just making sure.
Okay. I asked Wisher about this several years ago. He said that we should have a raise in order to keep the standard of elected officials up there. He also said at that time that if an elected official did not feel that they wanted a raise, that we had to be consistent, and that then that official could always make a donation back to the town in the $20 a month raise. So,
Did I say?
Well,
yes, you did, because I've got it in my notes. I went back to read it.
that was part of our discussion as a personnel committee, and that's always part of the discussion as a personnel committee. It sounds hokey, but, you know, years ago, when I went on the council and found out you got paid to do this, I was surprised. So, you know, I feel like it's a public servant thing, and you don't get paid to do that, you just do it, because it's the right thing to do. But there are reasons, and so that's why we make these raises each year.
Okay. All right, motion carries. All right, Leanna, Arts Commission.
We have sort of a wrap-up meeting, actually, Monday night of another Earth Day, and it went very well. I had sent out like a survey or whatever of everybody that was involved in it, plus the whole Arts Commission, because there were a few Arts Commission people that did not work it, but we had some other people that worked it. I just wanted everybody's opinion, and just as a general consensus, we want to pursue it again next year. We are thinking that we probably should do it in April, maybe the Saturday following, I think is what we decided on, following Earth Day. Earth Day is the 22nd, which falls on a Wednesday. We purposely avoided that this year. We didn't want to step on the toes of Wesselman Woods when they did their Earth Day, but Steve Amos, one of our Arts Commission members, had contacted them many, many times, and they really just, they didn't care. And theirs is very small scale. You'd think it would have grown, but it hasn't. It's very laid back. They're just really not interested in whatever Newburgh decides to do anyway, so we're gonna go with more of an Earth Day, real Earth Day timing, which will be in April, the Saturday following the 22nd. It might be the 26th, but I'm not positive right now. So we had a really good wrap-up meeting. We are going to do the event next year. We had some little suggestions from everybody, different things like to consider, but I think we're only gonna make it one day, but we will have a reception the night before. We tried Saturday and Sunday both this year. That was too much. The reception went over very well, and so we want definitely to have the Friday night reception and then the Saturday event. And I was disappointed because of some of the exhibitors that had agreed to come and then they didn't show up. I don't know why. I have no idea why. That happened with several of them, so I only had about half of my exhibitors. But it seemed to be fairly well received, and it was positive.
Good. All right, Leanna, sidewalks.
You want me to do that?
Sure.
Okay. Leanna wasn't able to make the sidewalk meeting, so, we talked about chalking on the trail. We talked about the sidewalk progress for Driftwood, Riverstone, and Copper's Edge. Riley had a spreadsheet for us on sidewalks, that wasn't quite complete, but, she asked for plat or color-coded lots for the next meeting. And.
So how many lots aren't done in Driftwood?
I'm sorry,
How many lots are not done in Driftwood?
Drew?
Thought she told me six.
I'm not sure on that off the top of my head.
Yeah, but Riley's gonna go through and she's gonna color code, not just Driftwood, but all the other subdivisions as well.
Okay.
We can share that with all you guys.
SS4A was discussed. Elementary school crosswalk options were discussed. Rivertown ice cream crossword walk options were discussed. Museum crosswalk options were discussed. Jennings Street, Market Street, which we've heard about tonight earlier. Gray Street sidewalks were discussed. We have a new build on Gray Street. A lot of good, interesting stuff going on Gray Street. Plum Street and Ellerbush projects were discussed. And I think that's about it. Anyway, we've had a really good meeting.
Yeah.
The last couple of meetings have been very good, very productive. Lots of good information.
And again, I apologize for not being there.
You're fine, you're fine.
Any questions for Ann?
Sorry.
I asked if there were any questions for you.
I don't know if anyone has a question for me.
Okay. All right. Go on to growth and progress, Leanna.
We had a meeting on, just this last week, it was the 18th, and we discussed all kinds of different potential growth options that we might have for Newburgh, and it was a really good meeting. That was on the 18th, and I think it was at 4 o'clock, and we probably will continue to have our meetings on that same day-wise in the month, and then also at 4 o'clock. So that's what we're leaning toward. We have a good group.
Any questions for Leanna? We'll go on to miscellaneous, Steve.
I have one thing, but before I do that, Jerry, you have anything that you want to say, or you just?
No, sir, I'm just enjoying.
Okay. I like that. My one item is, what's the status of the, at the Iran trailhead, the signs that are broken out, blood's broken up?
So I need to get them taken out, but we're working with South by Design on new signs, so I just gotta get the final design, but I should just have, I don't know if they should do it or if I should have our guys take it out, but we can have them take it out.
It looks
Tacky.
bad.
Yeah, we'll get them out.
Okay, thank you. That's all.
All right. Start saying parks. Paul?
It's all peas.
It's all peas.
Nothing for me, no.
All right. Ann?
Portpalooza coming up this Friday and Saturday.
Some peas.
Be there.
Harvey Square. Leanna?
I don't have anything.
All right, I have something to inform you all about. There's a small group of us that have gotten together, and we are planning a Thanksgiving dinner for residents within the town limits that are in need, whether they're in need by being alone, or financially, or even just the capability of cooking a Thanksgiving meal. And I'll be giving you more information, and there'll be more information in the newsletter. But we are taking monetary donations through LNB Community Bank. We are taking food donations. We need corn, we need green beans, we need stuffing, box stuffing, we need, well, I don't think cranberry sauce was on the list.
I was, when they put the box in out there, I said we need.
Cranberry sauce?
Yeah.
What is the, instant mashed potatoes. There are boxes around town, one at Town Hall, there's one at a couple of the businesses, Blue Nash and Oak Modern, there's one at the bank, there's one at the senior building. And so we're accepting donations of those items. We are cooking the meal, I'm not. We are cooking the meal that morning. We have people who are cooking all the turkeys. And we will be either to deliver the food to the residents, or if they would like, they can come and pick up their meal, and we will have tables decorated in the church at Zion Church in the fellowship hall, where they can meet with their neighbors and actually have a meal and have a converse. So I'm in charge of reservations, and I have a list, so I will know who is in town and who is not in town, because unfortunately, we can only do it for in-town residents for our first. Boonville has been doing this for many, many years, and last year they served a little over 600 Thanksgiving meals.
Wow.
A little over 100 meals came from our area. So we know that there is a need, and we know that it is something that we can do, and we can get it done. And so we're gonna do it for our citizens. It will be for just right now, within the town limits.
The chairperson of Boonville's Thanksgiving dinner was an aide in our building for years and years and years, and we did the cooking in the home ec area because we had lots of ovens.
Right.
They have left the state, but I could put you in touch with her.
Oh, no, we've got their entire, two of our people on this committee worked with Boonville last year. And we have gotten their entire plan. So we know exactly what to do and how to do it and when to do it. And
Now, they had it down to a fine art.
yes, they do. It was a well-oiled machine.
No sense in reinventing the wheel.
No, we are not reinventing the wheel. The only thing we are adding is the ability to eat in a fellowship hall with other people, if that is what you choose. If not, it will be delivered to you. And anyway, I think it's really neat. So we're asking for monetary donations, we're asking for food donations, and if none of you have plans for Thanksgiving for in the morning, because we will be done by noon, 12:30 at the latest. We can
If
take
anybody
off.
wants to dress up and look like the creator of stovetop stuffing, I got a picture here on my phone. of
You can do that.
receipts.
You can do that. But anyway,
I remember.
if you have any questions, you can call me. So,
You said you'll be done by 12:30. You mean the meal is like in the morning?
well, we will be eating between, I think it's 11 and 12:30.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
it'll be a noon meal.
I'm thinking, could I get in on my family's dinner and this dinner?
Are you gonna have like servers and serve?
We're going, it'll be boxed, so we will have an assembly line.
Okay, well, what about if you're gonna come and sit and eat?
We will have servers.
So it'd be like a cafeteria?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay, I think my family might be interested in helping.
okay, good, excellent. So, if that is all, I entertain a motion to adjourn? No. No, finances, finance, I do this all the time, I'm sorry. Approval of claims.
I need claims paid.
Yes, we do.
All these claims have been provided to council 5 days prior to this meeting. I'd like to request that the claims plus any sewer adjustments be approved for payment in the amounts of, for Civiltown, $229,178.69, 229,178.69. For sewer, $1,250,518.05, 1,250,518.05.
All right, I'll make a motion to approve all claims properly signed, including any sewer adjustments to be paid. Do I have a second?
Second?
Any discussion?
Why was the utilities, so
There's probably a debt service in there.
That's what I was saying, that's the only thing I could see in there.
It's a
so.
pretty large one.
I think
Okay.
it was when Susan presented things, I think there was debt service.
That's right.
All right. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed? Motion carries.
Now you-
Now I can make a motion for adjournment. Do I have a second?